it's me, Russell. Let's do a Kundalini meditation exercise together. I don't know if you know this, but I'm not a qualified Kundalini teacher. But what would a qualified Kundalini teacher even look like? I mean, don't you think that now when you go to a university or a pharmaceutical company or a country? Think, where did you get your authority from? Who has given you this authority? In some of those cases, it is highly, highly legitimate. In others, less so. Now, this is a lovely little meditation. You're going to love it. It's this point of Kundalini, and the reason I like Kundalini yoga and meditation is because they can be quite, I would say, what do I want to say, sort of disruptive and powerful. I do it every day. I do, TM meditation, mantra meditation, meditations that are quite calm and gentle and serenity. For me, serenity is everything. I have to stay calm. But for real deep change at the meridian level, at a cellular level, at the level where your conscious awareness interconnects with this matter that you call your home, your current destination, the body, how I can think, wiggle fingers, and then it just happens. What's going on at that point? Well, I believe Kundalini yoga, and more importantly, many sages and deep gurus of law believe that we can intersect with, inhabit, and occupy that space. This meditation is about changing the ego and allowing you to observe attachments. Therefore, I think this would be a very useful meditation if you were getting over a relationship, letting go of a job, grieving, feeling sad. Whenever you feel hopeless or like your problem is because something outside of you isn't going the way you want it to. I don't want this person to treat me like that. I don't want this situation to be like that. I don't want a global pandemic. Whatever it is, this meditation helps to reorganize your perception. There is some complexity to it. Let me talk you through it. We sit like this with our spine straight. Sometimes that involves pulling the chin in a little bit. You can see that if I pull my chin in and sort of tuck my pelvis, you can imagine that my spine is nice and straight now, you see? Like that I'm one line, as if I'm being pulled up from here. You keep your arms by your sides. You loosely ball your hands into fists. You connect at the thumbs like this, ensuring that the side of your thumbs is connected, but not the fists themselves. You see how they are apart? Just the thumbs are touching. And I'm holding them just in front of my heart. What is called the drishti, or point of focus, is the thumbs and knuckles themselves. You narrow the eyes. They always say about 1/10. Like, oh, open your eyes 1/10. I don't know about you. I can't do fractions with my eyelids, so I just sort of squint down at my thumbs best I can. And this is that. You squint down at the old thumbs, and you'll be holding this gaze for the full 5 minutes of the meditation. However, there are some additional instructions, and here they are. We will be inhaling nasally for 8, for a count of 8, right? So it's like this. And then holding for 8. Then exhaling in 8 little blasts. So in for 8 seconds, hold for 8 seconds, exhale in 8 little blasts. All this while holding your fists with the side of your thumbs touching directly in front of your heart, while squinting down at the thumbs. Once you have done the 8 little sharp exhalations, you hold the breath out for 8. So this is like the rule of 8. First, inhale for 8. Hold for 8. Exhale in 8 little bursts. And then hold the breath out for 8. Then we begin again. In for 8, hold for 8, 8 little blasts, hold out for 8. Okay? Now if that seems complicated to you, it's because it is, isn't it, compared to normal breathing, but it ain't that hard really. We sit like this with the thumbs like this. We inhale for 8, squinting down. We hold for 8. We exhale those little sharp blasts. And we hold out for 8 before beginning again. Don't worry if you fall out of the rhythm. You will be able to hear me. Of course, you will easily hear the inhalation for 8, and you will easily hear the little sharp blasts. Not blasts, although who knows, it's a crazy world, who knows where we'll end up, but you'll hear these. When we've done this for 5 minutes, the instruction offered in the Kundalini teacher's manual is we stretch up our hands and we open and close the fists. Now, if you can see sweat under my arms, that's because I'm an animal living in a body. Imagine. We just do that several times, okay? So let's just recap. We sit like this, we connect the thumbs, we leave the fists apart. The dristi is the thumbs themselves with the eyes narrowed. We inhale for 8, we hold for 8, we exhale for 8, we hold out for 8, and then we begin the cycle again. When we've done it for 5 minutes, you will hear a little tone, a little bell, or if you have trust issues, and why wouldn't you in this crazy world, set your own alarm. You can increase this in over time. And remember that the point of this meditation and the purported effect of this meditation is to reorganize your relationship to the ego. Those of you that have had addiction issues will know that ultimately you do not give up drink, drugs, alcohol, pornography, sexual addiction, love addiction, codependency, food addiction, behavior, gambling, whatever it is. You ultimately give up the person that was addicted to those things. What I mean by the person is a set of beliefs, memories, ideas, and impulses that we erroneously, due to the limitations of our human consciousness, consider to be the self, when the self is, of course, the awareness that houses all of these individual things, and we can curate and create a different identity if we choose to, particularly if the identity you've got is not working for you and is causing you pain, say. Okay, before we begin, we do a little chant, which I was told brings down the potent powers required for such things, and it sounds like this: Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. We say this 3 times. Then to close, we will say Sat Nam 3 times. And that will conclude our exercise, and we will continue with what we call our lives. But for all I know, could be someone else's life entirely. So remember the basics. This is the position. In for 8, hold for 8, 8 little blasts, hold out for 8, and then begin again with the in for 8. Meanwhile, the dristi, the squinty eyes, 1/10, if you can be that accurate, is upon your little thumbs there in front of your chest. Fists not touching. Okay. Then we'll begin. People that taught me Kundalini, they were always rubbing their hands together at this point. I suppose it creates a little bit of friction and awareness, doesn't it? Well, when do people do it in actual life? Right, let's get on with the show. Let's have a nice roast dinner. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Now we can begin the practice. Remember, thumbs, squint. And then we begin with an inhale. We'll do this for 5 minutes. Now inhale. And now we close with 3 long sat nams, hands in prayer position. Sat Nam. Sanam Waheguru. So the point of that meditation is to generate a sense of an awareness that is not webbed and wedded to your identity. Now I can feel that even through having to maintain the inhalation of 8, the hold of 8, the exhalation in those little beats, and then the holding out of 8, that it's impossible to stay in the track of narrativized individualistic thinking. Now, of course, from a Kundalini perspective, this specific exercise and that specific rhythm of breathing is designed to elicit a particular state of consciousness and awareness. And of course, I don't understand the ancient Vedic technology that underwrites that, but what I do know is that it does appear to have had an effect on me. I feel kind of like I'm able to observe myself a little more freely. Now, of course, anything like that, you're meant to do it regularly. You're meant to do it for an increasing period of time. I'd like you to remember, of course, that I'm not a Kundalini yoga teacher. I'm a comedian. And continue with me on this journey if you like. Sign up for the old mailing list, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and listen to Under the Skin. Thanks.